Imagine you wake up one morning and your social media account is gone. No warning, no explanation, just silence. You try to speak out, but your words vanish into the digital waves. You realize your freedom to speak was never truly yours. Right now, as you are watching this video, someone somewhere in the world just had their voice silent, a post deleted, an account suspended, a video removed. And here is the terrifying part: you might be next and you don't even know it. In 2024, we witnessed a record breaking 296 internet shutdowns across 54 countries. That's more than one shutdown each single day. In 2023, governments around the world shut down the internet 283 times. 283 times. Imagine wake up and your entire country is silent. No WhatsApp, no news, no way to cry for help. One woman described it: we were cut off, left in the dark. This isn't science fiction, it's happening now. In the early days of social media, platforms like Twitter, now X, were celebrated as a new front line for free speech. Everyone had a voice. But today, that promise feels broken. But here is what they don't want you to know. The biggest threat to your freedom of speech isn't coming from governments anymore. It's coming from every platform you and us are using every single day. The algorithm deciding what you see, what you don't see, and who gets to speak. Let me tell you a story that will change how you see social media forever. In 2020, Syrian journalist documenting war crimes wake up to find her Facebook account deleted. The reasons: Facebook's algorithm had flagged her post about Syrian conflict as terrorism content. She wasn't alone. 35 Syrian journalists and activists had their account deleted on the same day. These weren't terrorists, they were people risking their lives to show the world the truth. But an algorithm decided their voices did not matter. Is your freedom to speak truly free? Are you living under the unseen chains of digital control? And it's just the tip of the iceberg. Welcome to the digital age, where freedom of speech feels more and more like illusion today. We pull out the curtains. Freedom of speech isn't just changed, it's challenged, it's been redefined, censorship, and sometimes even erased. True meaning of freedom of speech: when we say freedom of speech, we usually mean the right to express opinions without government censorship, limitation, and penalties. Legally, in countries like the US, the First Amendment, adopted in 1791, guarantees that the First Amendment protects controversial, even offensive speech. But internationally, the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights states in Article 19, everyone has a right to freedom of opinion and expressions. Freedom of speech does not protect you from the consequences of saying stupid things. Freedom of speech means the government cannot jail you for speaking your thoughts, your mind. But it does not mean Facebook cannot ban you, or Twitter cannot blur your post by an algorithms. Our liability depends on the freedom of press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Rights on paper does not guarantee true freedom in practice. The challenge: the internet blurs these lines. What is allowed in one country might be illegal in another. Give me the liberty to know, to utter, and to acquire freely according to consciousness about all liberties. Let's take a moment to reflect on the story of a young journalist in a democratic country who was fired for experiencing her views on social media. Her case highlights a critical question: is freedom of speech truly free if it comes with a consciousness? If liberty means nothing at all, If liberty means nothing at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. But how often do we truly see this right respected today? Notice these words. Through any media and regardless of borders, the internet was supposed to be the limited expressions of our freedom, a global town square where anyone could speak and everyone could be listened. What's the difference between free speech and hate speech? Free speech is meant to be defend unpopular ideas, but hate speech target individuals or groups based on identity. According to a 2024 research survey, 62% of people across 14 countries support banning hate speech online. The challenge: where is the line and who will draw it? The UN defines hate speech as any kind of communication that targets based on identity. Hate speech targets people based on race, religion, gender, or other characteristics. It's often offensive, even dangerous. Yet in the US, most hate speech is still protected under the First Amendment unless it provokes violence or constitution a true threat. The most effective way to encounter the potential negative effects of hate speech is not through censorship, but rather through more speech. Hate speech, misinformation, and harassment can cause real-world problems and damages, from violence to undermining public health. Research from the Anti-Defamation League show a 30% increase in online hate accidents over the past 5 years, highlighting why platforms feel pressure to moderate content. But moderation can easily turn into censorship if we not handle carefully. So do we really have freedom of speech? Technically, yes. Practically, that's debatable. On paper, we have freedom of speech. In reality, that freedom is filtered by algorithms, cooperative interest, and government pressures. Social media platforms claim to be neutral, but they routinely remove posts, suspend accounts, and show ban users, sometimes for violating community guidelines, sometimes for criticizing those in power. Let me tell you about an activist. He posted a video about local government malpractice. Within 24 hours, his video vanished from YouTube. No warning, no reason. He appealed and get no response. His story is far from unique. This isn't freedom, it's the illusion of freedom. We are free to speak as long as an algorithm approves of what you are saying. According to Freedom House's 2024 Freedom of the Internet report, global internet freedom had declined for the 14th consecutive year. This raises an alarming question: how many voices are we losing in the process? Now let's talk about regimes. In China, the Great Firewall blocks Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, and even Wikipedia. Freedom House 2023 Freedom on the Net report gives China a score of 9 out of 100 on internet restriction, making it not free. Even Russia, since 2021, moderates platforms store local users' data, then restrict posts critical of government. China ranks 172 out of 180 in press freedom, Russia 164. With only 20% of the world's population living in a country where the internet is truly free, journalists and activists faced constant threats. In 2022, at least 293 journalists were imprisoned worldwide for their work, many for speaking out online. Press freedom is under attack everywhere. India, the world's largest democracy, had more internet shutdown than any other country in recent years, often citing national security or public order. These aren't just numbers, they are silent voices. Journalists jailed, activists threatened, entire histories erased. Freedom of speech under threat. Removing posts does not stop just about stopping hate speech. It's also about controlling the narratives. In 2021, Facebook removed 26.9 million pieces of content for hate speech. But critics argue that the definition of hate speech is inconsistently applied. According to Reports Without Borders, only 8% of world enjoys good press freedom environment in 2024. Press freedom is also at risk when journalists are censored, threatened, or jailed. The public loses access to the truth. In the US, government agencies have quietly pressured platforms to take down content. Facebook and Twitter have been confirmed it. The government told us to suppress the story. Twitter Files 2022. Is it really free speech if billionaires and backdoor deals decide who gets heard? In India, journalists and activists face legal harassment for tweets critical of the government. As George Orwell famously said, in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Even in democracy, speech is threatened. Press freedom in the democratic society is under attack in the digital age. Report Without Borders 2024 World Press Freedom Index show that press freedom had declined in 70% of countries. The greatest threat to press freedom today isn't a dictator with a gun, it's an algorithm with a play button. Take the case of Helena, a Brazilian journalist who reported on local police corruption. Her Facebook live video was taken down, labeled as harmful content. She got zero explanation. Investigative reporting, already a career at risk, now faces digital erase, and it all started with the freedom to speak and report the truth. So what's the cost? The public loses access to truth. If you don't have facts, you cannot have truth. If you don't have truth, you cannot have trust. If you don't have trust, you have no democracy. Every time you open a social media app, you are not seeing reality. You are seeing what an algorithm thinks you should see. And these algorithms are not neutral. They are designed to one goal: keep you engaged, keep you scrolling, keep you clicking. A 2022 MIT study found that false news spread 6 times faster on Twitter than the true ones. Why? Because the algorithm rewards engagement, not accuracy. We are not seeing the truth, we are seeing what keeps you scrolling. The battlefield for free expression have moved online, where big tech and new digital regulations decided what we can and cannot say. You think we are making choices about what to watch, read, and believe, but we are actually just following algorithmic suggestions. The result: we are not just being censored, we are being programmed, and the most disturbing part is that most people don't even realize it's happening. When people are afraid to speak up, whether because of government censorship, cooperative moderations, or social backlash, injustice grows silently. Activists and ordinary citizens are silent. An abscess of power goes unchecked. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed unless it is faced. When people cannot speak, injustice flourishes unseen. Corruption, misuse of power, discrimination continued unchecked. Society loses. Innovations need discord. Progress needs uncomfortable truth. When we cannot speak freely about problems, we cannot solve them. When algorithms decide which injustice get attention and which one don't, we are essentially outscoring our moral compasses to machines that have no understanding of human suffering and feelings. Change starts small, but digital action can have big impact. Educate yourself. Follow organization, read, watch, and question. When your post gets removed without reason, appeal. Keeps recording. File complaints to oversight bodies. Support journalism. Share their views. Credible news, journalist safety is internet safety. Hold platforms accountable. Demand transparency reports. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and pressure advertisers to support free expression. Stay informed. Understand how digital platforms operate and the limit of your online speech. Promote media literacy. Learn to identify misinformation and encourage critical thinking. Engage respectfully. Foster constructive dialogue rather than polarized arguments. Here is your action plan. Subscribe to my channel because this conversation is ongoing. We will cover success stories, tools, and tricks, and together we can change it. The freedom of speech is meaningless unless it means the freedom of person who thinks differently. Together we can shine a light where shadows linger. Thank you for watching. Stand up, speak out, and stay informed. Thank you.